In a bid to end the scourge of gender-based violence in the country, the National Orientation Agency (NOA) has widened its engagement with stakeholders. Director General of NOA, Garba Obari, said the intention was to look very deep and broadly so as to find a way forward. Obari stated this Wednesday in the nation's capital city, Abuja, during a stakeholders commitment meeting organized by the agency on the fight against sexual and gender-based violence.
Delivering his keynote address, Dr. Obari said a number of factors have been identified to win the war against gender-based violence, and according to him, they include adequate funding and training for institutions relevant to the fight against GBV more effectively.
Agencies. This meeting is intended to look very deep and broadly so as to find a way forward. It is not enough to sweep it under the garb of officialdom by saying we are doing a lot. The truth is that our efforts are not good enough, and that is why we are faced with an upsurge. The incidences of gender-based violence and the sexual abuse, rape in particular, is nearing a pandemic level. In fact, it has become a pandemic. The way forward is to do more sensitization and the awareness creation that will permeate the grassroots and resonate with all of society.
On their part, the NOA's Director Reforms, Coordination and Service Improvement Department, Elisha Sabo, representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, Abayomi Olanisakin, and Christiana Thomas, Director Parker Ezenwa Nwagu, and representative of Yaga Africa, Cynthia Mbamalu, opined that gender-based violence refers to the violence inflicted on male and female sexes, which includes rape, sexual assault, intimate partner violence, sexual harassment, prostitution and sex trafficking, and must be stopped at all costs.
I must commend the agency for taking initiatives as a custodian of the fabric of our nation to bring together different stakeholders to forge a way forward in the fight against sexual and gender-based violence.
Within organizations, so much is happening. If you come to the military, a disciplined force. If you come to the DSS, a disciplined force. The Nigerian police is doing so much. The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs is doing so much. Civil society is doing so much. Everybody is doing so much. Yet, the pandemic is not diminishing.
There is also to call a demand to start demanding institutions to deliver on their mandate of providing prompt response to survivors of violence, to individuals that have experienced different forms of violence, because justice delayed is justice denied. We need the Nigerian police to be effective in their mandate to responding to these cases. We need institutions like NAPTIP, the National Human Rights Commission, the Ministry of Gender and Women Affairs and Social Development, and also at the state levels, the commissions. And then also having the National Assembly, state assemblies, take legislative action to address issues of gender and gender-based violence. And then calling on states yet to adopt the VAP Act and the Child Rights Act to adopt that as state laws and ensure their enforcement and implementation. Then there's also that call for better budgeting.
The NOA and stakeholders present at the meeting believes that gender-based violence is not a private matter, and therefore it must be uncovered in order for it to be challenged, as they unanimously called for harmonized strategies and actions at all levels to put an end to GBV in Nigeria.